Good morning students. Welcome you to 10th standard English class. In today's video, we are going to see Unit 6 supplementary lesson The Little Hero of Holland, written by Mary Mapps Dodge. First, we'll see about the author, that is given in page number 185 in the textbook. Mary Mapps Dodge. Her period is 1831 to 1905. She was an American children's author and editor, best known for her novel Hans Brinker. She was the recognized leader in Juvenile literature for almost a third of the 19th century. Dodge conducted St. Nicholas for more than 30 years, and it became one of the most successful magazines for children. She was able to persuade many of the great writers of the world to contribute to her children's magazine: Mark Twain, Louisa May Alcott, Robert Louis Stevenson, Tennyson, etc. So here she is a well-known poet and she has influenced the many other writers for writing or contributing to her children's magazine, and this story is written in the year, that is The Little Dutch Boy Who Saved Holland. This story was written in the year 1865. We will see the introduction first. Here it tells about the story of Holland. This is a true story. A little boy with a brave heart and passionate love for his village. Read on the story to find what the little hero of Holland did to save his fellow men. So here we can see that every culture has its own stories and legends. These stories are often handed down from generation to generation. Sometimes it comes in a different way. An American writer, Mary Mapps Dodge, who wrote this, the little boy named Peter who saved Holland in the year 1865. Let's see the gist of the story. Before that, we'll see the characters in the story. The Dutch boy, his name is Peter. His age is 8. His father, his mother, and the blind friend, that is Mr. Jansen, a man, and the villagers. They are the rescue crew. Now we'll see the gist of the story now. One day, a young boy went to visit his blind elderly friend, Mr. Jansen. After a pleasant visit, he started walking home. On his way, distracted by the flowers, the butterflies, and the birds, he played for many happy hours near the dikes and ran by the road. The dike were large walls that held back the North Sea. The boy, Peter, heard a tiny trickle of water coming from the dike wall, and as he approached, he saw that a hole in the dike was letting water flow in. If left unchecked, this little trickle of water would further erode the wall and turn into a large torrent and eventually collapse the dike. Without further thought, he stuck his finger in the hole. He cried for help, but no help came. All night, Peter sat there with his finger in the dark. He was very cold. Bravely, at great personal sacrifice, he stood there keeping the sea out. In the morning, a man passing by heard Peter groaning and came to his aid. Peter asked the man to get help. People came running with shovels, and the hole was soon mended or repaired. The men carried Peter home to his parents. All the people cheered for Peter, the boy who saved Holland. Now we are going to see the story in a detailed way. First paragraph. Holland is a country where much of the land lies below the sea level. Only great walls called dikes keep the North Sea from rushing in and flooding the land. For centuries, the people of Holland have worked to keep the walls strong so that their country will be safe and dry. Even the little children know the dikes must be watched every moment and that a hole no longer than your finger can be a very dangerous thing. Now we'll see the meaning for dikes. Dikes means embankment to control the water of the sea or a river. Now we'll see the explanation for this first paragraph. So here it tells that much part of Holland lay below sea level. Great walls called dikes kept the sea running into the land. People knew that they have to take care of the dikes to live safely. Even the little children of Holland are aware of the danger. If the dikes break, water will rush in and all will be lost. Next paragraph. Many years ago, there lived in Holland a boy named Peter. Peter's father was one of the men who tended the gates in the dikes called sluices. He opened and closed the sluices so that ships could pass out of Holland's canal into the Great Sea. Now we'll see the meaning for sluices. A sliding gate to control the force of water. Now we'll see the explanation for this paragraph. So many years ago, a boy called Peter lived in Holland. His father was the gatekeeper of the dikes. He opened and closed the gates to allow the ships to pass. Here, Peter's father was one of the men who tended the gates in the dikes called sluices so that ships could pass out of Holland's canals into the Great Sea. One afternoon in the early fall, when Peter was 8 years old, his mother called him from his play. Come, Peter, she said, I want you to go across the dike and take these cakes to your friend the blind man. If you go quickly and do not stop to play, you will be home again before dark. We'll see the explanation for this paragraph. One day, when Peter was 8 years old, his mother called him and asked him to go across the dike and take the cakes to his friend the blind old man. Peter's mother advised him not to play and asked him to return before getting dark. The little boy was glad to go on such an errand and started off with a light heart. He stayed with the poor blind man a little while to tell him about his walk along the dike and about the sun and the flowers and the ships far out at sea. We'll see the explanation now. He walked along the dikes and spent some time with the blind friend happily. He told him about his walk along the dike and about the sun and the flowers and the ships far out at sea. Then he remembered his mother's wish that he should return before dark, and bidding his friend goodbye, he set out for home. As he walked beside the canal, he noticed how the rains had swollen the waters and how they beat against the side of the dike, and he thought of his father's gates. Here it tells that then he returned. As he walked along the canal, he noticed the rain had swollen the water level. Next paragraph. I am glad they are so strong, he said to himself. If they gave way, what would become of us? These pretty fields would be covered with water. Father always calls them the angry waters. I suppose he thinks they are angry at him for keeping them out so long. Now we'll see the explanation for this. So Peter was happy that the walls were very strong. Then the father always said angry waters because the waters are angry at him for keeping them out so long. The buildings up of pressure by the water crashing at the dikes. As he walked along he sometimes stopped to pick the pretty blue flowers that grew beside the road or to listen to the rabbits' soft tread as they rustled through the grass. But often he smiled as he thought of his visit to the poor blind man who had so few pleasures and was always so good to see him. Suddenly he noticed that the sun was setting and that it was growing dark. Mother will be watching for me, he thought, and he began to run towards home. We'll see the explanation now. Suddenly he noticed the sun was setting and he remembered his mother's words, so he started running towards home. Just then he heard a noise. It was the sound of trickling water. He stopped and looked down. There was a small hole in the dike through which a tiny stream was flowing. Any child in Holland is frightened at the thought of a leak in the dike. Now we'll see the explanation for this paragraph. Just then Peter heard the noise of trickling water. When he looked down, he saw a small hole in the dike, and through the hole a small stream was flowing. And every child in Holland knows that if the dike break, water will rush in and all will be lost. Peter understood the danger at once. If the water ran through a little hole, it would soon make a larger one, and the whole country would be flooded. In a moment, he saw what he must do. Throwing away his flowers, he climbed down the side of the dike and thrust his finger into the tiny hole. The flowing of the water was stopped. We'll see the explanation for this. So, here Peter understood the danger. The hole might become big and water would rush through that and destroy the town. So, he climbed down the side of the dike and thrust his finger into the small hole. The flowing of water stopped at that moment. Oh, he said to himself, the angry waters must stay back now. I can keep them back with my finger. Holland shall not be drowned while I am here. This was all very well at first, but soon it grew dark and cold. The little fellow shouted and screamed. Come here, he called. But no one heard him, no one came to help him. It grew still colder, and his arm ached and began to grow stiff and numb. Here we'll see the meaning for numb. Numb means no sensation. Now we'll see the explanation for this above passage. He understood the danger. Then it was good for some time to keep his finger into the small hole. Then it became dark and nobody was around him to help. He decided to say that to save Holland. Next, so Peter spent his night at the dikes in the cold with his finger standing between Holland and certain disaster. His arm ached and began to grow stiff and numb. He bravely tried to stop the North Sea from entering the city by pressing his finger into the hole on the dike. He called for others' help, but nobody came to help him. Next paragraph. He shouted again, Will no one come? Mother, mother. But his mother had looked anxiously along the dike road many times since sunset for her little boy, and now she had closed and locked the cottage door, thinking that Peter was spending the night with his blind friend and that she would scold him in the morning for staying away from home without permission. Peter tried to whistle, but his teeth chattered with the cold. He thought of his brother and sister in their warm beds and of his dear father and mother. I must not let them be drowned, he thought. I must stay here until someone comes. If I have to stay all night. Now we'll see the meaning for the word chattered. Chattered means feeling cold and frightened that one cannot stop the upper teeth from against one's lower teeth. Now we'll see the explanation part now for this. Peter spent his night at the dikes in the cold with his finger standing between Holland and certain disasters. His arms chased and he doesn't know what to do. When Peter didn't return home, Peter's mother thought that Peter was spending the night with his blind friend and he would come only in the morning, and thought that she should scold him in the morning for staying away from their home without permission. The moon and stars looked down on the child crouching on a stone and on the side of the dike. His head was bent and his eyes were closed, but he was not asleep, for every now and then he rubbed the hand that was holding back the angry sea. Now we'll see the meaning for crouching. Crouching means adopting a position where the knees are bent and the upper body is brought forward and down. So here the boy looks at the moon and the stars, and he was not able to sleep because of the severe cold, and he started to rub his hands that was holding back in the sea. I'll stand it somehow, he thought. So he stayed there all night, keeping the sea out. So here all night Peter sat there with his finger in the dark. He was very cold. Bravely, at great personal sacrifice, he stood there keeping the sea out. Early the next morning, a man going to work thought he heard a groan as he walked along the top of the dike. Looking over the edge, he saw a child clinging to the side of the great wall. "What's the matter?" he called. "Are you hurt?" "I'm keeping the water back," Peter yelled. "Tell them to come quickly." Now we'll see the meaning for groan. Groan means make a deep, articulate sound conveying pain. Now we'll see the explanation for this passage. So, early the next morning, a man who was going to work heard a groan. When he looked down, he saw a boy clinging to the wall. The boy answered that he was keeping the water under control. The alarm was spread. People came running with shovels, and the hole was soon mended. They carried Peter home to his parents, and before long the whole town knew how he had saved their lives that night. To this day, they have never forgotten the brave little hero of Holland. We'll see the meaning for shovels. Shovels mean tool resembling a spade with a broad blade and typically upturned side, used for moving earth, coal and snow, etc. Now we'll see the explanation now. The news went round the town and people came with shovels to close the hole. The boy was carried home. Then the whole town came to know that Peter saved the whole country. Still, people remember the bravery of Peter. We'll see the conclusion now. The boy saved Holland with a brave heart and passionate love for his village. The boy did his duty to save his country. People love this story and celebrates the young boy's bravery. So here the main theme of the story is the little boy's bravery, and the important things, that is the values highlighted in the stories were that boy's sacrifice, his wisdom, that is presence of mind, his passionate love for his village. Students, hope you have understood the story. Once again, you go through the lesson given in the PDF. Thank you, students. May God bless you.